Hi, I'm Emmanuel, and my wife Amanda and we left everything from Toronto, Canada, and moved to Brazil. So while Amanda and I are transitioning, we're looking for a place to stay. We still haven't found our property where we're going to start building. And I've been having a lot of thoughts about what it's like to actually be here. I've been having a lot of thoughts on the patterns that need to change. And the reason I'm saying that is because of the cultural differences. Now, I have been taught that true wealth is freedom, or true freedom is wealth. And for the longest time, I hustled like there's no tomorrow. And it's ridiculous now that I think about it. You see, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying that it's not a good idea to hustle. I'm just saying that's not going to get us to the freedom we want. So, one of the patterns that I've noticed in North America, we were constantly hustling to make more money, to get new things, bigger things, mostly materials, such as a new house or a new condo, a new bike, a new car, just new clothes, to talk about status, to show that we are worthy of being where we are. And being in the mountain region of Brazil, it's a bit different here. It's a lot simpler and is beautiful. Let me explain. Possessions fill our lives. They feel great, beautiful. They look beautiful. And while they can fill our lives, they can also bind us to them. Almost like we become hooked on the next big trend, the next big thing, the next big gold rush. And the problem with that is not that they're not good, but it's how our bodies react. We create patterns that we need more and more materialistic things. We need the next game. We got to see the next movie. We have to get the best and latest cell phones. Every single year, a new cell phone is released. It's in North America, I find that it's more based, like the culture is more mostly based on consumerism. When we feel empty, we tend to go and get things that will fill us, will fill the void, so to speak. And that's where I fell in love with the Brazilian culture. Now, the culture in Brazil is different everywhere. Now, in the mountainous region, they keep it simple. And I think that is so beautiful because they don't change if something breaks. They just keep on using it. And because it's broken, it doesn't mean it's useless. One of my favorite lines actually is in one of the Terminator movies, where Arnold says, well, as in character, he says, "I'm old, but not obsolete." And I think there's something beautiful about that. If you learn to cherish something and stay with it, you will realize that you build a relationship with yourself even more, because you're not going to find something else or something new to fill the void. And that goes with relationships as well. I've been seeing a lot of people using apps and just disposing relationships because they can be replaced, as everything is replaceable in nowadays. And here it's completely different. And it reminds me of back when, in the older times, maybe I'm more of an old fashioned guy, but when you find someone special, you will do whatever is necessary to make sure that the relationship lasts. And I just don't see that anymore. I see so many people, I mean, and especially the younger generations, they're just relationship after relationship after relationship, and they're not focusing on themselves. And the same thing I see with the materialistic items. So I don't think it's a coincidence. I feel it's a pattern that in North America, we're taught to observe and take on this pattern. So while in North America, true wealth is looked on as how much you hustle, how busy you look, how much you work, and how much money is in your bank account, I find that here, up in the mountainous region, I've learned that true wealth is not even about that. It's more on how little you rely on other things to be happy. How little you need outside of yourself to feel content. This way, you're not looking for outside happiness. You're seeing what makes you happy inside. And that's what I find, that true wealth is not money or anything. It's peace. How at peace are you? And when we look at it like that, we start to realize how little we actually need to feel free. Because the best thing is about life is peace. Being at peace with who you are, where you are. And I think that's a huge part of, aside from Amanda's health and finding our place, that's what we are aiming to achieve. To achieve that level of mind, being in peace. And I remember when Amanda and I were living with the indigenous tribes, it was 2 years ago, it was different because they were always at peace. And I tried to understand what it was about it. And they helped me understand the different levels that our minds are in. One of them is being in the beta stage, which most people are. We are constantly aware of everything around us, and we are familiar with everything that's going to happen because we think about and we remember everything that has already happened to us, and we can calculate what will happen based on the scenario. Now, the indigenous tribes, the shamans who we lived with, they were always in the theta state. And that state is achieved when you're asleep. So that got me thinking, how can one be awake and asleep at the same time? That is something I cannot wait to master. And that is one thing you'll probably see me working on. It's one thing though, the culture here is just different in that sense. Because I've seen people working and cleaning up the waste of the streets, and they're happier than most North Americans I've seen. And I asked them, what makes you happy? And with them, they just told me, well, I have a job, it's sunny, life is good, I have a roof over my head, what else can I ask for? And it's the simplicity that makes life beautiful, not the actual things that cause it. So if I was to compare cultures, there is the hustle culture where you're constantly grinding, and that life is going to let you miss out on a lot of beautiful things in your current life because you work so hard and you focus so much on work that you're not focusing on the present moment. You're not focusing what's actually around, the beauty around you. And make no mistake, you can find beauty anywhere. Because I did say in the first or second episode, what you seek, you will find. If you seek beauty, you'll find beauty. If you seek misery, you'll find misery. So let me know in the comments if you can relate to that. Let me know if your version of the term wealth has been changed a little bit based on this. If this inspires you, let me know in the comments. Okay? Because I do want to talk about the difference of cultures. And the difference, there's a lot of things I want to talk about. The food. There's no waste in food here. When you buy a chicken in the store in North America, you just get the body of the chicken. Here, you get the neck, the head. It's different. And in a way, it's beautiful. So again, if you want to follow me for daily updates on Instagram, there's a link below in the description. And if you have any topics you'd like me to discuss, let me know. Because I just wanted to come and take a time here to just touch up a little bit on the culture, because if I'm to talk about the differences between the culture in North America and Brazil, oh boy, I can talk for hours. It's a huge difference. All right, so until next time, I'm Emmanuel, and I'll see you soon.